Welcome back to the homestead, guys. What are the things I get myself into? There's a hole in the John Deere parking area. It's roughly the size of a 2025. We've pretty much established that that is not here. Going on 2.5 weeks now. The 2025 is still over at the dealership. No updates there. I called and they have no updates yet. When that comes back, I'll make a video about the follow-up to the broken 2025. We'll get to that when it comes to it. So while I was down a piece of equipment, there was a green and yellow hole in my soul. Oh, how did I fill it? Who out there doesn't love a good made-up YouTube barn find story? So I went and found myself a gator. And you're like, well, we can't really see the gator. Well, that's the whole point. You really can't see it. I found a barn find gator. It has no front end, but it does run and drive. This is a 2005 John Deere Gator CS, one-wheel drive, no locking rear differential, but the price was right. Very, very cheap, considering what the price of Gators go for these days, and I scooped it up. Now, it needed a bunch of work. Obviously, it has no front end. I knew that. I knew that buying it. The old owner crashed it into a tree and just kept using it, which, you know what? I can get down with that. When I bought it, the bed didn't work. It does have a power lift. That didn't work. It needed new seats. Barely ran, and it definitely didn't keep a charge. It needed to get jumped off every time, but once you jumped it off, it did run. So I started puttering around with it. No pun intended. When you hear it running, you'll get the joke. Oh, it also had 4 flat tires. I'm in this! I got this for a couple $100, and I said I'm gonna put a couple $100 into it and have it to putter around the property. So far, where are we at with it? The lift on the dump bed was actually a really easy fix. The switch was locked up, so I got a new switch off of eBay, and in typical eBay fashion, let me show you. The button's screen printing is upside down, but it does work when the key is on. It does work, and that did solve the problem of having the bed go up and down. I also went ahead and replaced the voltage regulator underneath to give the battery its full voltage potential, which did solve the not starting issue. I replaced all 4 tires, but only 3 of them took. The passenger one over there, the driver's side one over there, still goes flat. So that's what we're going to attack today. And also it has a really bad hesitation. When you go to hit the gas, it wants to die out. I replaced all the air filters and fuel filters. I replaced the fuel pump. And the last thing to do is to change out. I'm going to change out the carburetor. The carburetors on these are really expensive, like north of $200, which is almost as much as I paid for the machine. So I was able to score an OEM one, a used OEM one from eBay, and for like $50. And I ran it through Mama's ultrasonic cleaner, musty style. Don't tell her. Her jewelry ultrasonic cleaner. I just threw a dirty old carburetor in there. And we're going to swap that out today. So, without further ado, now that you guys are fully up to speed at where we're at with the barn find Gator, most of the parts make it a Gator. For what it's worth, I'm not going to put a front end on it either. The parts on this thing are super expensive. And all things being equal, I don't really need a front end to go and run around on the property. So it's just gonna kind of stay as you see it. I might put a light bar on it. Maybe mount a light bar across the front here, just to give it a little bit of light. Got a 3-ton jack. The whole thing only weighs like 500 pounds. You could lift it up with one person. I'm assuming that the rim is bad. And there's some evidence here to corroborate that. So, called over to Deere and I said, look at this little cute little rim. It's like an 8-inch rim. I called over and I said, hey, how much is a new rim for this? And they were like, it's $110. And with this being a budget build, I said no. So I went ahead and got a inner tube. He suggested just cut this off, try to stuff an inner tube in there. That should be good enough. That's what we're gonna do. Now I've never messed with any tires, even though I did replace the tires all around. I just took it to the local guy, and I called him and I said, hey, would you stick an inner tube in this tire? And he said, no, we're not allowed to. So do it yourself. Nicer than that, but he said no, do it yourself. So I said, okay, how hard could it be?
Scholastic Audio presents Famous Last Words.
I watched a couple of YouTube channels, a couple of YouTube videos. It doesn't look that hard. It looks strenuous. Could be annoying, possibly. So, enough talking. I think I'm prepared to handle it. Okay, step 1. Valve. There we go. Cut off the old valve. Got it. Oh, soapy water is the key. Alright, so I don't know if I have to do any more than this. Like, I don't have to take it off. I got a feeling this is gonna suck. You're the famous last words. Well, let's get it lubed up. Everything works better with some lube.
One hour later. Two hours later.
All right. I'm afraid to take these vice grips off. Oh, man. Ah, you God damn it. It was, God, it was so close, man. That was, God. That's my fault. Mother cock. So I shoved it in. God damn. I got it all in. I pumped it up to 14 psi, but the valve was like this. God. So I was just trying to straighten it out and I ripped it off. God. God damn. Fast forward 1 hour later. Replacement tube acquired, reinstalled, holding air, looks good. That was one of the most annoying hours, but it's self-induced. It also kind of speaks to what was going on with the big tractor, where clearly I have no problem showing that when I screw up, goes to all those people that said I broke the big tractor and it didn't just break. I would have admitted it. Anywho, let's get into the engine side. Maybe change this carb out for a nice clean one. Here's my replacement carb, fresh out of Mama's ultrasonic cleaner. It looks to be a relatively straight drop in. That is until I get my meat paws on it and break something. I don't know, for you or for me, I think I'm gonna take the bed off. Knock these pins out and take the bed off just for better access. That gives you guys much better access to see what's going on and see the stuff that I break.
Daddy's recording whatever it is Judy's saying.
Huh?
You're gonna have to dub over it or something. Because I know she's playing.
Yeah, we'll put music over it. That generic banjo music that all the other Homestead channels play. Seems pretty good. Ran up and down the driveway, no problem. I'm much better with nuts and bolts than I am with tires. I think it looks good. I'm going to check some more fluids and put it back together and put it into service. There's also some dangly parts here. You know, they look like they're not supposed to be dangling. Some relays for the lip body, so I'm just going to zip tie them up. I'm happy. Well, I'm happy. It runs and drives. Makes it up and down. Back and forth. Forward and reverse. What else do you need? It's a piece. But it runs. I actually don't really 100% know why I bought it. It's completely useless. I know I said that about the big tractor, but this is really useless. It can't go on that side of the property. It's too hilly, and this is only literally one-wheel drive. It doesn't even have the locking diff. I do have a saved eBay search to see if maybe one used one comes up to swap out the, because this is a CS, to swap out the transaxle from a CX and maybe get a locking diff and make it a little bit more useful, but for like going down and getting the mail and cutting wood and throwing the chainsaws and stuff in the back, it's perfect. Don't have to fire up the tractors, buzz around a little bit. I'm happy. The price was right. Old school technology, easy to fix. Tremendous. I'm happy. I have a feeling it's not the last time you're gonna see it. I'm gonna run it until it dies, until like a major component goes, because the ridiculous prices of brand new Deere stuff. A new engine's like $5,600 or something crazy. The clutch is like $700. I'm gonna run it until it dies. It only has like, I don't know, 1,000 hours, 1,500 hours, something like that. I don't really remember. 1,400 hours. So I'll run it till it dies. It sure beats paying $35,000 for a new Gator. The prices on those things are ridiculous. That's it. I think my yellow and green need has been satiated for this week. So, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.
All that noise.
I don't know why that chicken makes all that noise.
I hope he doesn't do that again.
He's probably going to. That's what he does.
And I don't know why. I understand, but he's a chicken poop.
He is a chicken poop.
Your name is Sick.
John, did you hear her?
Yeah.
You're a chicken.